Hello, my name is Mary Bridget Smith. I'm the City Attorney for the City of Springfield, and I'm here today to present the budget presentation for FY24 Legal Services for the City of Springfield. That includes the City Attorney's Office and the City Prosecutor's Office. Before we get going, I just wanted to take a minute to express our gratitude for being able to do this work for the City of Springfield. We view it as a privilege and love the work that we do and are happy to tell you about our office and the things we've been doing. The first slide here is just a brief summary of our department services. Our main purpose is to advise the city on how to stay compliant with the law and proactively minimize liability. We are advisors and advocates for the city, but not necessarily litigators. So for example, property damage claims and employment claims are handled by our insurer, City County Insurance Services, and we do from time to time contract with outside legal counsel with specialized knowledge for certain areas. We are appointed by the council and report directly to the council. The City Attorney's Office is a small department, one city attorney, one assistant city attorney. Her name is Christina Kraz. And then our legal assistant is Linda Craig. We also manage the prosecutor's contract as part of our job here in the City Attorney's Office. This slide is a summary of our proposed budget for FY24 and then also the 3 preceding fiscal years. As I mentioned, we are a small department. We have 3 full-time employees and do not anticipate changing that in the coming year. Our material and services budget, which is essentially our overhead, reflects our overhead and then also the cost of the city prosecutor's contract and their overhead. When I talk about the city prosecutor, I mean the legal representation the City of Springfield has for misdemeanor crimes and violations that occur within the city limits of Springfield and that are prosecuted in Springfield Municipal Court. They have an office over in the Justice Center. Currently, we contract with a private firm named Leahy Cox for that work. We have a 3-year agreement with them with 2% increases over that agreement on an annual basis. I'd like to take a little time now to talk about our accomplishments for FY23. Starting with economic development, always a big priority for the council and our community. This year, for economic development, the City Attorney's Office assisted with real estate transactions, the Blue McKenzie project downtown, and then also some work on the Glenwood Riverfront area with the request for proposals for the master planning work and some agreements with adjacent property owners. Another area where we spent a lot of effort would be the Climate Friendly and Equitable Communities Appeal, and we've been calling that CFEC for short. These are some land use rules that came down from the state. The City of Springfield, along with 13 other communities, are appealing those rules, and the City of Springfield has taken a lead role in facilitating and coordinating that effort. Another area of effort includes revising the city's camping code to be compliant with House Bill 3115. And that is the relatively new law that requires any regulations about camping on public property for persons experiencing homelessness to be reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions. Claim response was another area where we spent time this year. That has to do with best positioning the city for pending liability claims, coordinating with outside counsel and staff, participating in mediations and discovery efforts. Policy review is another area that is important, and we spent some time on this year with human resources and the police department in revising and revamping policies to be consistent with new laws and to prevent liability. And then the police operating levy, which was successful this year, we provided advice about the legal aspects of that. Looking forward to FY24, these are the areas where we think we will be focusing our time. We do believe that there will be some overlap with the work that we did in FY23 and then also with our upcoming initiatives. Looking first again at economic development, we anticipate that the majority of our efforts will be focused on Glenwood, specifically the Glenwood Riverfront area, as the master planning work progresses and any associated development agreements for that project. Housing is another big area for the city of Springfield and regionally. Be new legislation potentially in this pending session, the governor's executive orders, and then also projects that the city has been working on with regard to housing. Comprehensive planning support, which would include the CFEC work I mentioned about the appeal and that litigation, and then other long-term planning projects which can be procedurally complex, and that would be like comprehensive plan amendments and the MS4 stormwater permit changes. Fire governance support is another area where we anticipate focusing some of our effort and providing legal advice about the various options. And then liability prevention and claim response. So this encapsulates things like investigations and claim response to claims before they are lawsuits, working on training, policy review, and development. So those kinds of items to try and either respond to claims or prevent them. In FY25 and 20 through 27, these would be our future year considerations, so looking past the next fiscal year. Again, think we'll have an emphasis on economic development, particularly in our urban renewal areas, downtown and Glenwood, and other areas around the city. Housing, as I mentioned, a key focus here for the city and regionally. Equity lens is another area where we focus attention, and that is making sure our policies and procedures and practices promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, are legally compliant, and really work toward making Springfield a welcoming community to all. Liability prevention, a core area for us. This includes preventing lawsuits and claims and then also responding to them. So can be anything from training, policy review, claim response, participating in lawsuits, that kind of thing. And then efficient and effective city services. This is also important. This is our representation with regard to improving internal city processes to be more efficient and effective. Also at the same time making sure they're legally compliant, particularly with new rules and requirements and leveraging technology. This is our last slide. It has our contact information. I would be happy to speak with you at any time about our department or our budget. And also just wanted to thank you for participating on the budget committee and listening to this presentation. Thank you.